Hello and welcome back to our WordPress tutorials brought to you by wpwiz.net. In this tutorial I'm going to show you a few very handy plugins that I always install when I install WordPress. There's obviously a question of taste and people have different opinions about different plugins. This is just what I use, so feel free to research different plugins if you want to. Let me show you the list of plugins that I'm going to talk to you about. Basically, I've divided our plugins into three different types of plugins. There's one area which is mostly content related. This can be facing the visitor of your website, but it can also make your life easier when you create new content. The second section is strictly SEO related. So SEO stands for search engine optimization. If you want to have your site enjoy a lot of visitors, it's very important that you think about search engine optimization early on. Now, when you want to sell products or services on your website, so when you're using your website for commercial purposes, there's obviously a totally different dimension to this. But even for your own blog, you want to be found on Google, on the other search engines as well. So you want to make sure that you consider SEO. The last part is security related. Now, again, call me crazy, but I've had WordPress sites hacked in the past, and unless you've had a recent backup, it's a lot of time and effort to recreate a website that's been destroyed. So I personally believe in security related plugins a lot, and there are some really good ones out there. So let's start and install these. I'll show you how to install a few of these, not every one because it's going to take too long, but the principle is always the same. So let's have a look first at duplicate posts. This is a very handy plugin, but before we install this we have to go back to our admin screen. So if you remember, you can log into your WordPress with wp-admin. You have to put in your user credentials and hit login. So we install plugins in this area of the website. As you will remember from the last tutorial, the lower end here is where we do a lot of administration of the website. So let's hit add new. Now the first plugin I want to install is duplicate post. This is a very handy plugin to basically just make a copy of an existing post, something that unfortunately WordPress doesn't have out of the box. So we hit search plugins, and now it's basically the first time that we're actually going online. So you will not be able to do this if you're not connected to the internet. Until now everything was local and offline, but to install plugins we obviously have to go online. So this is the plugin. It's called Duplicate Post. Very simple. We click OK. It's being downloaded. Should install within a few seconds, and then you're going to be prompted to activate it once it's downloaded. So this is very important because unless you activate the plugin, it will be downloaded, but it will not be available to you. Activate plugin. Now, automatically after we did this, we go to our install plugins screen, which you can see from here, which already shows you which plugins have been installed. So HeliDolly is something that comes by default with WordPress, and it's a plugin that we can delete. So let's delete this. We hit delete, and we say yes, delete these files, and within no time this is gone. Now this one here is a plugin that is quite useful to tackle spam on your website, but it's not a priority right now. For personal websites you can get a key for free, and it should help you to reduce spam if you get a lot of spam comments or spam emails. But right now this is not a priority. So let's see what this duplicate post plugin does that we downloaded. Basically what this thing does is just whenever I have a post, it allows me to clone it, which is nothing else than just making a copy. As you can see here, the copy has been made. It's been put into draft status. So it's very handy if you have similar content, or you just want to copy an existing article with all its settings. Let's install some more plugins. Add new, and the next one from the list, Broken Link Checker. This is also a very useful plugin if you have a link directory, or generally if you reference to external content in your posts. Broken Link Checker automatically checks whether these links are still working and will alert you if they're not. So this is great to keep your website up to date and working, and it's very simple. Then TinyMCE Advanced is a editor that is similar to your Word or WordPad editor. We have to look for this a little bit in the list. Not sure why it's not finding it. I think I have to write this together. There we go. TinyMCE Advanced. Let's hit install. Again, there's different tools for many of these purposes. These are just my preferred plugins that I use, which I wanted to share with you. So let's install TinyMCE. And if we click New Post, you will see that basically this is the standard editor for WordPress. And if we go into Settings, you will see that TinyMCE Advanced has an option down here. Let's go and have a look. So here you see the various options you can plug into your toolbar. Yeah. Very useful if you write a lot and you want to have the possibility of adding certain functions more easily. Let's go back to plugins, and another one that I would like to add is the Fast Secure Contact Form, which is my preferred contact form. Every WordPress website should have a contact form where you allow people to get in touch with you. However, you want to make this secure that you don't get spammed with a lot of nonsense emails. So Fast Secure Contact Form has a what you call CAPTCHA by default. A CAPTCHA is simply a picture with some text that requires you to type it in manually, and this reduces the amount of spam you get because machines cannot read this very easily. So as you see, it's quite easy to continue to install all these plugins. Let me walk you through a few more in terms of what they are. WordPress by default doesn't have a really good search function. So Relevancy is a plugin which enhances the search results. So if you have a lot of content, this can really make a difference because of the way that it basically categorizes importance. Think of it like Google. It's just looking for the most relevant content whenever you search something, and it does a really good job at it. So a lot better than the default search. Now, when you install some of these plugins, you will see that there are some notes here. And it's really important that you don't disregard those, because without these, without looking at these notices, the plugins might not work. So in this case of Relevancy, it says, you know, your plugin needs attention, go to the settings page. So I have to build the index, and since I have no content, this is a very quick one. But it's really important that you look at it. And the same thing here for the contact form. It also requires you to do some setup here. Well, as you saw, it's pretty easy to install plugins. Plugins usually don't generally do any damage, so you can plug them in and plug them out if you want. When you delete them, usually most of the information that was installed is removed. If you want to make sure that you install trustworthy plugins, I always recommend you go to WordPress, and you can just type in Google WordPress plugins, and you get to the home page of WordPress, which offers you a huge amount of plugins. Thanks for watching this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it, and make sure you visit wpwiz.net. Thank you.